Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Softball City, Surrey, British Columbia, on day number 5 of the 2024 ISC Men's World Tournament. And we think we have something special for you in this first of 2 winners bracket games to close out day 5. It is one of the favored teams to win it all, the Hill United Chiefs, with a record of 2-0, taking on the JB Bombers, who call Mexico as their home base. And Joe, you know what we're most excited about. We might have the 2 hardest throwing pitchers on planet Earth in this game in Marco Diaz, who will get the call as you look at the Hill United Chiefs' vaunted batting lineup, starting with Shane Boland, who is really leading their team so far through 2 games. And Miker Pimental will be the starting pitcher for the JB Bombers. He's a fairly young player out of Venezuela, their national team. And there's the defense with Torres, Cesar Rodriguez, Nico Carril in the outfield, Cowick, Ismael Pena, Jorge Lima, Juan Villavazo, and the venerable catcher Rafa Flores, also from Venezuela.
Tighten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a rocket ship. Tonight is going to be good.
Now, Diaz has only thrown 3 innings. We'll get to him in a second. But the first gentleman you will watch from Venezuela is 2-0. He's pitched 11 1/3. He's given up no runs, 4 hits. He struck out 25, including 17 in a 7-0 or 7-inning shutout of the Kegel Black Knights on Monday to advance them into this game. And
he is impressive.
You better be ready, because it's coming from 46 feet in a hurry. Get your burritos, get your tacos, get your hamburgers, your popcorn, whatever you need. If you like a little heat, you're going to see some heat from 46 feet away in this game.
You don't want to miss a pitch tonight. Game number 53 out of 72 scheduled for the week. Peter, what's your impressions of the first 53 games? Or I don't think you've seen all of them, but
no, I've been really impressed, and for lots of different reasons, Joe. Obviously, so far, the New York Gremlins look poised and ready to retain their title, but, you know, including the Hill United Chiefs and others, there's always an opportunity. But they've been the class for me so far. The Northeast Drillers, who we'll see in the next game, they've hit it at a ridiculous level through their first 2 games. But this is, in many ways, when this tournament really fires itself up.
Well, the big thing about the Gremlins, they've got a target on their back, and everyone is aiming for them right now.
Well, Pimental getting set to throw to Shane Boland, longtime Canadian national team shortstop. The 34-year-old from St. John's leads it off. I chatted with their assistant coach and the national men's coach of Canada, John Stewart, yesterday, and he was a little concerned about their hitting through 2 games. Shane Boland has 4 hits in 5 appearances. He's homered in both games and driven in 6. And he fouls Miker Pimental's first pitch off foul down the third base side. And high into the air towards Cesar Rodriguez, who will take a few steps in for 1 out. And that already, I would think, can be encouraging to see Boland's at-bat against Pimental.
Well, the whole strategy behind that whole for Hill United will be to get a bat on the ball, put the ball in play. Don't let him throw his pitches that are going to dominate you.
Well, he was almost unhittable in the dead of the evening. It was dark in the game when they played the Kegel Black Knights. And it looked like a blur, Joe, as you know, at times, as he deals with one of the world's best hitters, Brad Ezekol. And what does one of the world's best do? He takes it out of the yard.
Drove that outside pitch far away, over that 250 fence, right into the subsequent area behind that first curtail fence. Just a long punch. Good upper body strength for Brad Ezekol to give Hill United the one-run lead.
One of the great hitters in the game for a long time greets Micah Pimental with a solo shot the opposite way over the right field fence. It's just Ezekol's second hit here at Softball City, and it's a big one. And when the chips are on the line in his career, few do it any better than number 11 for the Hill United Chiefs.
The cream always rises to the top.
And this guy has been stellar his whole career. And 39-year-old Nick Shales, he is a 10-time all-world performer in this event. Calls Ontario home now, but he is from Australia, a two-time world champion, two-time MVP of this tournament in 2010 and 2015. And he, believe it or not, is looking for his first hit at Softball City. And you can tell how geared up. I could see it today. They were on their way to hitting practice at the hotel. They had a different look in their eye this morning at the hotel.
A team on a mission.
And we'll see, maybe more importantly, how Micah Pimental, his response after really mowing down his first two opponents. But with no disrespect, and the Kegel Black Knights are a good team.
Yes, they are.
This is not
the Kegel Black Knights.
The Kegel Black Knights. This is a team that's been ranked number 2 all year long. As Shales goes down looking at the hands of Pimental, who has his first strikeout of the evening and his 26th of this tournament for out number 2.
So important for JB Bombers and Pimental to get that first strikeout.
Matroni over the head of Jorge Lima. And this veteran from Argentina continues to deliver.
Hill United willing to take that outside pitch and drive it the other way. In both cases, Brad Ezekol and Bruno Matroni both taking the ball the opposite way.
Matroni's 39 years of age. He's now 3 for 6. He's homered and driven in a run. So for a team that was a little concerned about its hitting, it started well tonight.
It has woken up.
Against Pimental, who has to be in and around 85 when he's at his highest velocity. It looked like 105 the other night, and the drop gets away from flamboyant catcher Rafael Flores. He's a fun guy to watch.
Well, he has already done the between the legs throw down to second base. If you have a chance for the camera to stay on, I'm not sure if we do or not, or we'll try and come up early.
Quentin Bruce, the batter from Grand Valley, Ontario, back-to-back all-world player. It is most recent ISCs, but he's on a different team this year. He was with the Bear Creek Express. This is the team, in many ways, that helped turn him on to the sport. And now a key member of Hill United, Canadian national team player who really had his breakout event at the 2022 World Cup in New Zealand, where he batted .500. And he had a big rip at that Pimental pitch that he sent back to the screen. So Brad Ezekol, by the way, the game that we called the other night, It's only the second time I've ever watched Brad not get a hit in a game I've been in attendance for. Well, he changed that tonight. Bruce goes down 4-3. But Hill United don't look fazed so far by the young star from Venezuela. They've opened a 1-0 advantage.
Well hit, deep right field, it's curving. This one, well hit to deep right field this time, and that one is gone. Trying to put it away is Jack Besgrove. The New York Gremlins are world champions.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Start spreading the news, Joe Todd. It's New York, New York.
Brad Ezekle's first home run and just second hit of this ISC World Tournament has the Hill United Chiefs in front. There is the lineup that Marco Diaz will face. And Diaz, if you thought Pimentel threw hard, this guy is thought to be the hardest thrower, and he's just 22 years of age. That's the defensive lineup for JB. We'll get to the Chiefs' defensive lineup as Diaz pours home a strike in that 85-mile-an-hour range. He's pitched 3 innings so far in this event.
Well, you come in and you show your best right off the hop.
And that one down and away from Diaz. Even though he is born in Mexico, he's going to represent the United States moving forward internationally and will do so at a WBSC event, a qualifier for next year's Men's World Cup in the middle of September in Oklahoma City. And that's all the difference in the world, literally.
That's a huge acquisition for that program.
I can't imagine a country having one much better.
None.
So Diaz working against 32-year-old Ismael Pena, and there is the first strikeout of the game. Joe, I remarked to you and Blair, my first in-person viewing of Marco Diaz was at the Hill United Chiefs Challenge back in the 3rd week in June. We sat right behind home plate, and yet it didn't feel at any point in that event, and I was way closer, like it has for the first 2 batters that I'm watching from this vantage point in terms of velocity and movement. And that doesn't even really make sense to me.
Yeah, I think he's turned it up a notch obviously for the World Tournament too. He's peaked at the right time. That June tournament that we talked about, the Hill United tournament, was only their 2nd tournament of the year. They've had 6 tournaments since then. He's ready to go now.
Well, he is most certainly throwing at a different level, at least from this vantage point. To the first 2 batters, this is second baseman Jorge Lima. Lima's 1 for 7 at Softball City with a run batted in. As Diaz misses outside, and again, he's only 22. So when you think about 20-year-old Jack Besgrove and 22-year-old Marco Diaz, that's a lot of great years at this tournament if they both stay healthy.
That's great for the game.
Well, the drop ball is off the charts good early as he has back-to-back strikeouts. And it's one thing to throw at 85, 86. It's another when it moves like that.
Yeah, and to have the pinpoint control with that speed.
Well, Diaz looks like he's brought his best to the circle as he faces the longtime veteran catcher, Rafael Flores, who's from Venezuela, longtime staple of their national team. He's homered here, 2 for 6 in their first 2 games. The home run came against Victoria's Emory Electric Chargers. And he was a very impressive 8 for 21 for his country in a 3rd place finish at the WBC's first event of 3 in Mexico, where Venezuela dominated in the round robin. They went 5-0, but didn't win a playoff game. And I'm not sure who's hitting that right now.
I don't think too many. Not with that skinny little bat in their hands.
No balls and 2 strikes to Flores. As he busts him inside. And Flores will always give you a great reaction. We're going to see another great character in the next game. The first baseman of the Japanese national team who plays for the Oma Tigre, who will face the Northeast Drillers in the game after this in the final one of the Elite 8 in the winner's bracket. Diaz, I don't even need anything other than my glove to shovel it over. Well, one pitcher has impressed more than the other in a pitcher's showdown on night 5 of the 2024 ISC World Tournament.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business. How confident are you?
He came from Australia with a superstar pedigree. And from his first ISC in 2003, he knew he was going to be something special. 6 times All-World, a 3-time ISC champion, and now the first.
After a very impressive bottom of the first inning, courtesy of Marco Diaz, back to work is Miker Pimental, who looked human in the top of the first inning. He gave up a solo shot and then another hard hit ball off the bat of Bruno Matroni as he works in tight to second baseman Lenny Villavazzo. Pimental a little older. He's 27.
But still in his prime.
And can still bring it.
Yes.
At a high-end level. And listen to the Hill United dugout. Can hear it right through the headphones. They are some juice.
They are pumped.
Villavazzo takes a ball outside. A ball and 2 strikes from Pimental, who did register 1 strikeout. See if he can bear down and get in a groove himself. Tough play for Pena. Not in time. Quality scoop by Juan Villavazzo, but not quite good enough to get Lenny Villavazzo.
Great wheels going down that line, because that was a great play there by that shortstop, Ismael Pena. He was a little deep in his spot, picked it up and gunned it over, but not able to catch the quick Lenny Villalvazo.
Well, Villalvazo does run well, and he does so from the right-handed part of the batter's box. And now Mexico's Tony Gonzalez, the 35-year-old, Tony's 2 for 5 at Softball City with a double and 2 runs batted in, and at a quality cut at the rise ball from Miker Pimental.
Gonzalez has quick bat speed. Always takes a mean rip.
Rafael Flores takes off his sunglasses. And they work their way back into the dugout. And misses down with what looked to be a drop. The game that Pimental threw against Kegel reminded me a lot of his game in the round robin against Australia at the WBSC event. But in that event, in the playoff round, things changed. And they've changed tonight. Gonzalez to the wall. Here comes Villalvazo. And it's all Hill United early as they have gotten to Miker Pimental for another run and an RBI double, his 3rd run batted in of the tournament for Tony Gonzalez.
Gonzalez ripped that double right up the fence line, just driving in Lenny Villalvazo for the second run for Hill United tonight.
Well, they turned up the pitching machine today at practice, and it's worked. I think they've also turned up the intensity. Hill United was disappointed in their first 2 games. They beat the Seattle Dirt Dogs 9-0, but I think more so in their second game, the 6-1 win after Pueblo, and they had to put that away relatively late, Joe.
Yeah, they just weren't ready for that one.
And as Blair would tell you, and you know this all too well yourself, they have scuffled a little bit in recent weeks leading up. They didn't advance to the final as many expected of the recently completed ASA, the USA National Tournament, that came to a conclusion not last weekend, but the weekend before.
They've had this whole week on their minds all year. They did not put on a good show last year in Denmark, Wisconsin. So they've been working towards peaking at the right time.
However, in saying that, as the batter is Pipolo Lopez, this is a very different team, Joe, than the one that participated in Denmark, Wisconsin.
Yes, they are. They've made some key acquisitions, great additions.
And yes, it's been such a proud organization, a winning organization. But that's what happens when you have that kind of ending, as they did last year in Denmark. They went out shopping. And they got some great deals, starting with a guy by the name of Diaz, as Lopez goes down swinging for the first out of the top of the second. Argentina national team member Alan Pecker. When this guy can bat in the number 9 spot, you know you've got a great lineup. He has been hurt a lot of the year.
He has great wheels. You'll see him put the ball in play. If the ball bounces twice in that infield, he's at first base. To me, with his wheels, it's like having 2 leadoff batters.
Certainly when he's healthy. This one, a quick look at the runner, and still Ismael Pena able to retire Alan Pecker for out number 2. So the single by Lenny Villalvazo, and then the rope to the outfield fence in right center. off the bat of Gonzalez for a double, has Hill United in front 2-0. Brad Ezekiel, a solo homer to get them going. And hitting is contagious. I know we say that a lot, but it is so true. And you're all geared up. You know what Pimentel has done. I heard Blair talk about the fact that don't think they weren't watching. They might not have been at the park the other night when this guy threw against Kegel, but they were watching.
You betcha.
And Shane Boland, who flew out to center. And that, to me, was almost an early indication that they were going to make some contact.
Right, they're going to put the ball in play. Going to be doing a lot of swinging tonight.
It was hard for Kegel to put balls in play against this guy who had 17 strikeouts a couple of nights ago. And that might have been the hardest pitch he's thrown today.
Good eye at the plate there by Shane Boland. Did not chase after that outside pitch.
A 3-0 count to the 34-year-old from St. John's, Newfoundland. And that's a strike. Not sure if we've gotten to our umpires quite yet. I know that we showed them very quickly on our screen.
Ed Otterman from Kitchener on the plate. First base is Terry Richter from Sherwood Park, Alberta. Third base is Steve Gelliver from Cobourg, Ontario. As Shane Boland makes his way down to first base on a walk.
And Pimentel with his first free pass of the game. He's given up 4 hits already. That's one more hit than he gave up in the whole game against the Kegel Black Knights. And now a conversation, and you can just tell that the message is we all need to maybe take an extra deep breath. Don't kid yourself. They were as excited about a chance to play this team in this situation as Hill United, although they're definitely the underdog. And we'll see if the visit from the head coach settles his pitcher and the rest of the group down. And now, a gentleman who's already homered, Brad Ezekiel.
You're going to have to be very careful here with Brad. Coming inside.
And I don't care how hard you throw, you're not getting it by this guy on a regular basis.
Got a very good eye at the plate, swings a mean bat.
I think he's one of the greatest to ever do it.
And a clutch performer.
That's maybe why I put him in that category. Long-time national team member, a world champion in 2015, a Pan Am gold medalist in that same year. On the ground, well handled by Kyle Cowick, who's from Vancouver. Tony Gonzalez, RBI double to the fence, increases the Hill United lead to 2-0.
HRD Bat Co. owners Nick Shales and Trevor Oakes want to bring the best quality bats to baseball players all over the world. Our pro-grade wood combined with our finish process makes them some of the hardest bats with the biggest pop in the game. Customization is our specialty. We offer a variety of handcrafted models and unlimited design. Visit us at hrdbatco.com. Play hard, swing hard.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports, focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product. Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by
designated player Tawera Bishop, the New Zealand national team starting catcher, at least he was, in Prince Albert in a WBSC event where he had 3 home runs, and one in particular, Joe, of a mammoth variety. We've seen a couple of mammoth home runs on this diamond, and hitting one tonight off Marco Diaz might be awfully difficult. But when you throw that hard, if you're able to square it up a little bit, it's going to go a long way. Bishop in search of his first hit here in Surrey. He's 0 for 4. He has scored a couple of runs in the JB Bombers' first couple of wins. As Diaz falls behind after a very impressive bottom of the first, 3 balls and no strikes. He starts from 46. When he lets it go, probably closer to 35. And it's coming at you at 85, which is the equivalent, if you're thinking about another sport where they throw from 60 feet 6 inches, of well over 100 miles an hour.
The timing to swing that bat, incredible speed and eye-hand reflexes these batters have to have.
Well, now Bishop, like the catcher, Flores, and he's a catcher too, when he's not the designated player, he takes off his glasses.
Ex-baseball player, again, converted to fast pitch.
Yeah, he's in the Boston Red Sox system. They're going to check. And no, as the Bombers have their first base runner in designated player Tawera Bishop from Wellington in New Zealand. Brings to the plate first baseman Juan Villavazo. Juan's 1 for 5 in the Bombers' first 2 games. He does have a couple of runs batted in. 2 big ones, Joe. He singled in the only 2 runs in that great pitching matchup between Josh Pettit of Kegel and Micah Pimental of his own team with a 2-run single in the bottom of the 6th.
That was an amazing game to watch.
And Villavazo, a swing on the drop ball, misses that. Is Bruno Matroni, the 39-year-old. Lost the handle for just a second, but recovered quickly. Is Diaz, who fell behind early before walking Bishop on a 3-2 pitch, is well ahead this time. And Villavazo stays alive. Villavazo is from Tijuana in Mexico. He was 5 for 21 at the 2023 version of this event. Last year in Denmark, Wisconsin. Diaz comes inside and didn't miss the mark by a whole lot.
It's good to come inside. Just push that batter off the plate.
Now you wonder if he goes away with the drop.
I would think so.
Other side of the plate.
Yeah, I would think it'd be a good setup here. I'm sure Bruno Matroni's on the same page.
Well, Diaz just shook him off at least once. It was the drop, but more towards the middle of the plate. And the count runs even at 2-2. The Chiefs have struck for 2. One on a Brad Ezekiel solo homer, the other on a Tony Gonzalez RBI double.
Took something off that pitch. Slowed it right down. Fooled Villavazo at the plate for his 3rd strikeout of the night.
Still great drop action. And that may be the difference even early on to notice. Pimental's ball it's in the low 80s, if not mid 80s. but does it move as much?
Yeah, I don't think he's ready to that. Not as sharp as Diaz. Diaz's ball has a lot more movement on that ball. Pimento tries to intimidate you with that speed.
Well, the Hill United Chiefs were not going to be intimidated by anyone.
No, not tonight.
Maybe not ever.
They were ready.
Nicholas Curiel, the right fielder, a 3-time All-World member at this tournament, most recently in 2022. 2 for 5. A strike on the outside corner from the, I don't even think hard throwing is a good enough description. Fireball throwing Marco Diaz. Might throw as hard as anyone we've seen in a long time. Reminds me a lot of Adam Folkert in his prime, who I know was in the mid-'80s as well, back in those days.
Around the 2015-14 mark.
Yeah, and even earlier. He was 83, 84 when he won his first world championship in Saskatoon in 2009, which was really his coming out party in the sport. Talking about Folkert, who might not pitch again. He was hurt for the Bear Creek Express early in the first inning in last night's game. A win by the Express as they and the Gremlins have earned their way into the winner's bracket Final Four, and now 2 more teams will join them after tonight's play. As Diaz tells Nicholas Curiel to go take a seat. And that's strikeout number 4 for the 22-year-old who hails from Mexico but pitches or will moving forward for the United States. Cesar Rodriguez, the center fielder, into the batter's box. He's 1 for 4 here with a double and a couple of runs scored. And did that get a strike call? It looked like it did. That wasn't a positive result for some.
Oh.
No balls and 1 strike. Rodriguez fouls it off. So players primarily from either Mexico or Venezuela, and then there's Vancouver's Kyle Cowick, who's on deck.
Fast pitch is an international game. They all speak the same language.
Oh, they do in a lot of different ways. Diaz again. And it's a steady diet of the drop. Haven't seen the change yet.
Well, especially with a runner at first base now. He'll keep that ball down.
On the ground. Quick flip from Gonzalez, but it gets away from Villavazo. The toss wasn't where he would have liked it. And the JB Bombers with their first threat now with runners at second and third after the error.
You seen on the replay there, Gonzalez goes out and after that ball, but tries to throw that ball over to the second baseman, Villavazo, but just led him too far with that ball.
So the aforementioned Kyle Cowick, lots of family and friends. He's from Vancouver. 2 for 4. He's tripled, he's homered, and driven in 3. That happened in their first game win over the Emery Electric Chargers. What a spot for Cowick, who was not on time with that swing.
Took a little outmatch there.
Diaz in his first jam, yet to surrender a hit, and has 4 strikeouts. That's hit hard, but Shane Boland with great hands. The longtime Canadian national team shortstop to help his pitcher out. That could have changed the complexion. Don't go away. It's 2-0 Chiefs in this winner's bracket Elite 8 game. On a beautiful night for almost anything. Day 5. Nick Shales just missed it.
Got a good cut at the ball.
The 10-time All-World player. Shales still in search of his first hit at Softball City, but he made good contact. And you know this, Joe, it won't be a whole lot longer before he finds the hit column.
He will get his timing down pat.
Bruno Matroni has one of the 4 Hill United hits as Pimental comes inside, and Matroni gives him quite a stare.
Just to raise the temperature up a bit, as if we needed it.
It is the most intense feeling game, at least from my standpoint, of this event.
So far, yes. And they will get better every day.
We're in for another good one after this. The Northeast Drillers and their great hitting lineup, not to mention Waymel Mata, who's been a star at this event on a number of occasions, facing the Oma Tigre, whose lineup has been helped greatly by some Japanese national team members, as Matroni may have fouled that off the plate and maybe his own wrist area.
He come up and hit him. Called immediately by home plate umpire Ed Otterman.
And the opposing catcher, Rafa Flores, made sure he was all right as well. 2 balls and a strike to Matroni. And that was a pitch where his drop ball might have been at its best so far this evening.
That was pretty to watch.
So Pimental with his 3rd strikeout of the evening as he sits down the first 2 Hill United batters after giving up 2 runs and 4 hits in innings 1 and 2. And now facing Quentin Bruce. And it's out of the reach of Iran Torres, who gave it a good go in left field foul territory.
Quentin Bruce just got that right on the end of the bat. Got to turn up that bat speed. Got to kind of anticipate that speed coming in. It's a little bit different, a lot more speed than what you faced so far in this tournament.
This a difficult play. Did somebody get it? No. And hope that Ismael Pena is all right. He's in a lot of difficulty as he collided with Cesar Rodriguez. And you could see that one coming almost when it left the bat in terms of the collision. So Quentin Bruce is going to make it 5 hits for Hill United. And hope that Peña's okay. And he is in difficulty. Joe, it was difficult to tell. I
really think their two hips collided.
Was it hips? Hopefully it's not the head or the neck.
No, I don't think so.
That's always the great concern in a collision. He might have jammed his neck. Looked like his head hit not the ground, but the midsection area of Rodriguez. Well, they'll be careful. Anytime it's
potential head injury
or neck. And again, I don't want to play doctor on the stream, but it did look like that may have been the area. And everybody's just hoping for the health at this point of Ismael Peña, is the Hill United athletic therapist, the first to race out. And obviously, everybody in the park, especially his teammates, gathered around and very concerned about his condition. Now, he is moving his leg, so that's a good sign in one respect. He almost whipped around, Joe, after he collided.
Hard to say. There's such quick movements there.
Well, let's take a bit of a break, play some commercials, and hope that when we return, there's good news for Ismael Peña. It's 2-0.
Sometimes people worry about asking for help because there can be a stigma around mental health problems.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
They might believe that asking for help means admitting that something's wrong.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Some people worry about how others might see them.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Asking for help means that you want to make changes and take the first steps towards better mental health.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
We should celebrate the courage it takes to speak up and make changes.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Getting help is part of recovery.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Mental health isn't something you need to keep to yourself. Talk to a friend. Trust your teammates. You're not alone.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
The first steps may be the toughest, but knowing where to look for help is a good start. Community mental health organizations like the Canadian Mental Health Association or Mental Health America offer resources and programs that can help you. Visit cmha.ca or mentalhealthamerica.net to find a branch in your community.
And remember,
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give
Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor of the broadcast program.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business. How confident...
He came from Australia with a superstar pedigree. And from his first ISC in 2003, you knew he was going to be something special. 6 times All-World, a 3-time ISC champion, and now the first Aussie inducted into the ISC Hall of Fame. From counting materials and the farm in Wisconsin, to Kitchener, to finding a home in the New York Gremlins colours. Congratulations, Jeff Goolagong, from all of us.
HRD Bat Co. owners Nick Shales and Trevor Oakes want to bring the best quality bats to baseball players all over the world. Our pro-grade wood combined with our finish process makes them some of the hardest bats with the biggest pop in the game. Customization is our specialty. We offer a variety of handcrafted models and unlimited design. Visit us at hrdbatco.com. Play hard, swing hard.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game, every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports, focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product. Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Hard work, strength, and all-around commitment to getting the job done, and done right, is the motto for Lumberjack Sports. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca.
Do you need a reliable supply of products to run your business? Are you tired of having to deal with multiple suppliers to get everything you need? Absolute Business Supply is your dedicated, full-service business supply partner, offering over 400,000 products and unmatched customer service. At ABS, we aren't just selling products. We offer a commitment to building meaningful relationships with our customers, getting to know your business goals so we can provide the best possible solutions for your needs. Find us on the web at absolutebusinesssupply.ca.
Well, the reason for the delay is exactly, Joe, what you never want to have happen. Ishmael Pena, went back on a ball from shortstop. Cesar Rodriguez came in the other direction. It was in that tough area. They collided, and unfortunately, Pena remains down. That's the reason for the delay. We're not going to show it to you again. There's absolutely no reason to do that. But for people tuning in, we just wanted to update you. We 100% are hoping and praying for the best for Ismael Pena, the 32-year-old. We have an ambulance, I believe, on the way, and we hope the news is good. We'll take another timeout and be back shortly. It's 2-0 Hill United here in the Elite 8 winners bracket game.
The annual Boys of Summer tournament is held every July at the Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time fast pitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill in the grounds can't be beat. Reduced-rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at deankane16@gmail.com. Thanks to Circle Tap for their support of the broadcast program.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with two of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that. A fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give
Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor of the broadcast program.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Medios. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com. Thanks to Jose and Peligro Sports for their support of the broadcast program.
Well, we are in a delay, and unfortunately, Joe, we have been for quite some time. The paramedics, the ambulance, making its way to attend to Ishmael Pena, who is involved in a collision about 15 minutes or so. The injury occurred at 7:20, so I guess it's getting closer to 25 minutes ago. But the ambulance is taking him now, just leaving the park. I was encouraged by the fact that he was not placed in any kind of neck device around his head.
Or on a straight board.
Or on a straight board, which would generally be accompanied by a neck brace. That was not the case. He was sitting somewhat up on the stretcher as he made his way into the ambulance. So our thoughts are with Ishmael Pena and his family and his friends, obviously his teammates, and we're getting a little closer to somehow returning to action with the Hill United Chiefs leading the JB Bombers by a score of 2-0 with 2 out. Quentin Bruce was the player that hit the ball into the area where Pena and the center fielder, Cesar Rodriguez, collided. So we're going to have, needless to say, we're going to have some changes as a result. It looks like Jorge Lima is going to go from second base over to shortstop. Juan Villavazzo will move from first base to second. Tawera Bishop, who was the designated player, is going to come into the game and play at first base. And I believe the outfield will remain the same. And again, our thoughts, wishes, prayers are with Ishmael Pena as he has been taken to hospital after a very scary-looking collision. And now somehow both teams have to regroup, and
it's tough too.
It's really tough.
I've gone through a few hockey injuries, and it's not tough. It's not easy on either team.
No, it isn't. But we're about to resume play. Mention the situation, 2-0. The Hill United Chiefs lead. This is one of the 2 remaining games as Lenny Villavazzo, with the base open, is going to be walked intentionally by Micah Pimentel. And Joe is part of the ISC group. This won't happen next year. And what I mean by that is about how he's being walked.
That is correct. The intentional walk is going to be automatic walk next year, starting in 2025. The coach or the catcher will automatically signal to the umpire that walk him, put the ball down and play, and the runner will be awarded first base.
So Villavazzo intentionally walked with Bruce at second, and what will be scored a double. And now Tony Gonzalez, who doubled to deliver the second run in the top of the second inning. We are in the top of the third. Very important game. And a swing straight back is Gonzalez all over it another time. He hit an absolute rope to the outfield fence to score the run, as we are back underway after the injury. And he's on that one too. So Gonzalez not at all in any way, shape, or form one bit behind the 80-plus from Micah Pimentel, who's given up 5 hits in the game and a couple of runs. Looked to find the outside corner and missed. A ball and 2 strikes to the 35-year-old Gonzalez. Quentin Bruce is the runner. At second, Villavazzo on the intentional walk at first. And it was a long time, needless to say, before the game resumed, which can be difficult. And in this case, can't even imagine what the emotions would be like of the players involved on both sides.
Yes. Like they're more concerned about Pena and how well he's doing. I know they're trying to refocus, but that's a tough adjustment.
Very difficult. And this game had all the excitement, all the intensity, the great pitching matchup. Hill United came out of the gate with fire and got things rolling on a Brad Ezekiel solo home run. He was the second batter of the game. And Gonzalez is having another real quality at bat.
That's the one defensive conference for the inning. It's called out by home plate umpire Ed Otterman from Kitchener, Ontario.
The 2-2 and a drop ball and a dandy to get Gonzalez. The 4 strikeout for Pimental. His JB Bombers trail it by a pair.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
For the best bear tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Well, it's been quite a night, and our biggest concern is that for Ismael Pena, who was injured in a collision. We're worried when we watched it, Joe, about kind of how his head and body kind of snapped. But the word that we get is that you were right in the sense that he took an elbow in the collision. And, you know, we don't want to speculate any farther outside of it's not about the head or the neck, which
that's a great thing.
That's a great thing. And we will pass on hopefully more good news as he's been taken to hospital and checked.
Kudos to the area paramedics who arrived very expediently.
Yeah, they were on the scene in a hurry, which was fantastic in a situation. Lots of great help here at the park as the bottom of the 3rd inning starts with Marco Diaz dealing with Iran Torres. Iran Francisco Torres. The Bombers in search of their first hit. Diaz has issued a walk. He also has struck out 4 batters. They did have a couple of runners on to 2nd and 3rd, in fact, in the 2nd after an error on first baseman Tony Gonzalez. But Diaz able to get out of it when Kyle Cowick grounded. And it was a sharp hit grounder as well to Shane Boland, who made the play to end the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Northeast Drillers and the Oma Tigre still to come tonight in the 4th and final game of what we will call the Elite 8 on the winners bracket. Down to 12 teams now in contention for the World Tournament title. As Torres draws a leadoff walk to begin the bottom of the third. And batting in place of Pena is Takui Bishop. His second at-bat. He's 0 for 1. He had his at-bat in their 7-0 victory over the Emory Electric Chargers in their opening game. Their second victory was a great pitching duel between Josh Pettit of Kegel and Miker Pimental. Won 2-0. And hits were few and far between in that game. Juan Villavazo won it with a 2-out, 2-run single in the bottom of the 6th. As Takui Bishop takes inside. The Bishop boys are not small characters. Tawera or Takui. From Wellington, New Zealand.
They building big down there.
And he's able to foul that back as the count runs even at 2-2. Diaz, one of the hardest, if not the hardest throwers right now on the planet. He might have the 2 hardest throwers in this game. And there is a brilliant pitch from Diaz.
Great location.
Almost no opportunity in on the hands, underneath the hands, Joe, to be able to pull the trigger, especially when it's in the 85-mile-an-hour category.
Tied him up.
So a 5th strikeout, and the first out in the third is now shortstop Jorge Lima comes to home plate. And Diaz, with that vaunted drop, misses out of the zone. Diaz, in his second consecutive ISC World Tournament, he was not, Joe, as you know, a member of the Hill United Chiefs in Denmark, Wisconsin. Marco, 1 year ago, was on the staff
Lumber Kings
of the AWP Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks. I had the Lumber Kings. That's fine. Lumber, the wood.
Had 37 strikeouts in 17 2/3 innings 1 year ago. But I think he's progressed a lot even in 1 year.
Yeah, he's worked out, thrown a lot of pitches in the offseason.
Facing Jorge Lima, looking to extend the inning. And had a pretty good cut at that, and he knew it too. Anytime you see a batter pound the top of his own bat, tells you quickly, and now that takes a bite out of our home plate umpire, Ed Otterman. My goodness. And a big shout out as well to the Hill United Chiefs athletic therapist. He was almost first on the scene when the Pena injury occurred. Shane Boland.
Rafael Flores is asking Ed Otterman how many fingers he sees.
Only Rafael Flores. Or maybe Mr. Toriyama. Might be the only 2 guys in the tournament to ask that question.
Knowing Ed, he probably said 6.
Well, how about nobody else gets nicked up before the end of the night? That'd be a good place to start.
Let's have the rest of an uneventful game.
Yes, in that regard. Ball and 2 strikes to Lima. And there's one of the pitches, Joe, that you mentioned earlier. Looked like he took a little off of this.
Yeah, he throws that drop at just a cutback on that speed. He goes from 88 probably down to the early 70s. Low 70s.
That one might have been closer to the low 80s instead of the mid 80s,
yeah.
But it did look like there was a little less on it.
86 on that pitch.
And our gun isn't exactly right behind home plate either.
No, it's a little off center, so you're getting a little bit of a false reading.
Not much, though. Bit of a bluff over at first from Iran Torres, who threatened but did not go. Matrone more than capable of throwing you out, even at age 39. So a 6 strikeout after issuing the walk. And now a guy who could change this game quickly in Flores. A high hopper and over the head of Shane Boland.
Good punch there by Flores, just getting a little bit of that ball. But driving over the head of Shane Boland, advancing Iran Torres over to third base.
High chopper, Boland stretched out, couldn't quite get to it. And Flores has the first hit of the game off of Marco Diaz. Longtime member of the Venezuelan national team, Rafael Flores.
Jorge Lima get to run for Rafael Flores over at first base for 2 out for the catcher.
And now the first baseman, Tawara Bishop. On the topic of guys who can change a game with one swing. He's yet to deliver a hit here at Softball City and missed on the drop in on the hands from Diaz.
This guy is a mountain of a man.
Oof. Is he ever? Key spot in the game. At least it feels that way. But the Bombers, for a second straight inning, Joe, have a runner at third base. You don't want to strand too many opportunities.
To where Bishop choking up on the end of that bat.
You're not likely to get too many off this guy. The 0-2. Perfectly executed drop. Diaz with runners at the corners, out of trouble again, and it remains 2-0 Hill United Chiefs after 3 on the ISC network.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to
For a second straight inning, the JB Bombers leave a couple of runners stranded and trail the Hill United Chiefs, who have out-hit the Bombers in the game 5-1, as we are set to begin the top of the fourth in this Elite 8 Winners Bracket Showdown. The New York Gremlins and the Bear Creek Express, last year's finalists. The Gremlins, the reigning champions, advanced into the Final Four of the winners' bracket with victories one night ago. These two teams hoping to join them. And the Oma Tigre will square off against the Northeast Drillers in the fourth and final game of the Elite Eight. 20 or 25 minutes after this one comes to a conclusion. And it looks like the pitching matchup will feature Waymo Mata for the Drillers, and somewhat surprisingly, Shota Onodera, the young Japanese pitcher, and not Ryo Koyama, as I think many, including myself, expected.
That's what I would have expected too, but maybe they're up for the challenge.
Through the hole, off the bat of Pipolo Lopez, the 31-year-old from Tijuana. The designated player tonight has his first hit of this ISC World Tournament. There are a lot of great options on the Hill United bench. It's not too dissimilar to the bench of the New York Gremlins in that regard. And head coach Jeff Ellsworth, who is a sensational player not too long ago. He has not hung up the cleats for too long. Longtime national team member of Canada from Prince Edward Island. And looks like speedy Luciano Biondi is the base runner in place of Lopez. And he can scoot.
Yes, he very fast runner.
So can the guy at home plate, Alan Pecker. Flores, there's Biondi. Actually, that's not Biondi.
That's
that is Tyler Brancho. It's difficult to see from here. I saw a 4 and thought it might have been 34, but don't want to take anything away from the pride of Metcalfe, Ontario. As Tyler comes in to pinch run, and he didn't need the ball to be spilled very far to get to where he wanted to go, now in scoring position. Ball and a strike to Alan Pecker from Argentina, grounded out to the shortstop, his last time up. A high strike. Conversation between catcher and batter. I'm not sure Rafael Flores goes a batter without having a conversation. He never met one he didn't like. And at least in this case, it would be in his first language.
Alan Pecker called time, wanted to step out, regroup, whatever their conversation was about.
The pitch outside. And looked like Allen was able to hold his bat back. Pipolo Lopez with a leadoff single to start the top of the 4th inning. The Hill United Chiefs trying to creep a little closer to their ultimate goal, which is the world title. Flores the throw, and Brancho able to move up 60 feet. Some more good base running by Tyler.
Very smart base running. You go as soon as that ball is released by the pitcher or the catcher. Sorry.
First base was not occupied, so the throw was required. And now with one out, here's Shane Boland. Walked his last time up, flew out to center to open the game, and just made his way out of the way. From that 80 plus mile an hour offering. Have not seen what Pimental is registering as of yet, but I'll take a peek. That one at 78. Right from the get-go, I think in many ways, even though he made an out, Boland almost told his teammates, we're ready to hit.
Yes. I'm going to hit the ball no matter what happens.
And then the next guy went deep. And he's on deck, and Brad Ezekiel, who has just 2 hits so far in the tournament, which is a little odd for him. But he has a tendency to heat up when it matters most. And guess when he delivered his biggest hit in their biggest game
of the week so far.
3 balls and a strike to Boland, who'd like to cash in another Chiefs run.
Just missing off the edge of the plate.
So Boland walks for a second consecutive time. And here is Brad Ezekiel with runners at the corners.
68 pitches for Micah Pimentel so far in this game. We're in the top of the 4th inning.
He certainly has not looked as comfortable as he did in the 17 strikeout performance versus the Kegel Black Knights. But I don't think it's unfair to suggest this and the lineup featured by the Gremlins, the 2 best hitting lineups in the sport.
Yes, he seems to. I wonder if he's a little nervous playing against this level of competition, in his maybe first big game of this week. Yes, they played the Kegel Black Knights, but now you're getting into that Elite 8 we talked about.
On the ground, Brancho is caught in the rundown. He'll try to hang on as long as he can to potentially allow Boland to maybe move up even more. And Tyler's upset at himself.
Yes.
Is Kyle Cowick.
Got a little too far off that bag. Especially when the ball's hit to that side of the infield.
A well-executed rundown play by the JB Bombers, and that will potentially take you out of an inning. And Brancho with 2 really heads-up running plays prior to that ball.
I'm sure the last thing that Jeff Ellsworth said to him at third base, the ball's hit to this side, you're staying here till I tell you. But you get nervous, you're into that situation. You're off the bag, the ball's in play. Just straight too far away.
So caught in the rundown, and now it's Shales. Shales made good contact. Flying out to center fielder Cesar Rodriguez. His last time up. He's 0 for 2. And Shales yet to deliver a hit. He was 4 for 18 in last year's tournament. The MVP of it in 2010 and 2015. He was the top batter in 2007 and with Hill United in 2016 as well. 10-time All-World. You know what that's called? Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And he might have done it here. Not quite. Didn't get all of it. The sound off the bat made it seem like it had a chance. Not the case. A fly out and a couple of runners stranded this time for the Chiefs, but they lead it 2-0 after 3.5.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Medios. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Juan Villavazo, as there's a great look at the 2 pitchers in action tonight. 2 of the hardest throwers in the game. Pimentel from Venezuela and Diaz from Mexico, but has chosen to play internationally for the United States of America. You sure we can't get you? Anyway, we'll leave that alone.
Red and white flag?
Maybe. It's okay. I shouldn't do that. Not in this setting. Villavazo is the batter. Listen, it doesn't hurt to try.
Sure, you got to ask.
You got to ask.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
It's true. Well, Marco comes in tight on Juan Villavazo. The hard-throwing Diaz with 7 strikeouts in the game. He has had a little trouble in the last couple innings. Lenny Villavazo backs up a step and makes a strong throw over to first. Villavazo to Villavazo, and I don't think there's a relation.
And they just exchanged words there.
Oh, those two are brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
Thank you, Luciano. I was told it must be another one who's involved who isn't part of that clan. So brother to brother, and there's one away. Only makes sense. They're from the same hometown.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the most popular name in the world. There's Nicolas Carril from Argentina. Takes a strike in the inner half. No balls and 2 strikes. And there's the drop with plenty on it.
A beautiful pitch.
Watch the movement. Forget it.
And just late movement, too. So key.
Always. The closer it makes a move in front of home plate, the more difficult it becomes.
The more effective it is.
Late movement is so critical if you're a pitcher. And it's not fun if you're trying to hit. And this guy throws more than hard enough as it is. And there's a changeup. We haven't seen that prior to that pitch. And comes right back at 85. Remember, he's 46 feet away and closer to 36, 35 when he lets it go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of reaction time.
No. Be very sharp. The eye-hand reflexes have to be totally on board.
Cesar Rodriguez, the batter, he reached on an error to first baseman Tony Gonzalez in inning number 2. There's relatively no change in the miles per hour. However, to watch, sometimes it certainly seems like there is. Like that didn't seem like it was only 1 mile an hour down from the last one. And that one was right back up again. Yes, as I think I just heard Mr. Setford echo, he brings it.
Late swing there by Rodriguez.
And another notch quicker. 3 up, 3 down, and a 9th strikeout for Diaz as Hill United in front by a pair.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com.
Well, the sun has made its way below the trees in this amazing setting. The kids are, well, they're all sugared up for sure. Having a great time, and what a great place to do it. I was going to say some of my favorite early memories were at a softball park. What, like that's really changed? Still making memories. Bruno Matroni, he's made a lot of memories in this sport too. He's 1 for 2 in the game. The 39-year-old from Argentina.
Still 20 degrees out at 8:22 PST time, Pacific time.
Although it feels like it's dipped about 4 or 5 in the last 10 minutes.
Well, just as you had mentioned, that sun going behind that trees and starting to go down.
It's a T-shirt day until 10 minutes ago, and then thank goodness for the coat. Matroni has 3 hits now here at Softball City, matching his hit total of 1 year ago when he was 3 for 15. And surprisingly, Joe, in Denmark, Wisconsin, he didn't have an extra base hit. But he's had a lot of them in this tournament over the years. He is homered this week. He did that in a 2 for 2 performance against the Seattle Dirt Dogs in their opening game. He was 0 for 3 in the win over the Pueblo Bandits. 2-2 on Matroni. It continues to be Pimental against Diaz. Lima knocks it down and recovers in time to throw out Matroni.
Lima handles that extremely well. Charged the ball, kept the body in front of him, picked it up and fired over a bullet. There he goes, right there. Kept the ball right in front of him. Blocked the ball with his body.
Well, Quentin Bruce back up. Had a bloop double, and unfortunately on that bloop double, collision involving Ismael Pena, who left about a half an hour ago, I would guess, in that neighborhood, maybe a little longer, for hospital, and our thoughts are with him. They were able to put him somewhat upright on the stretcher.
He's with the right people right now.
He sure is. And we're all still thinking about him. And certainly will until we know that he's
okay,
going to be completely fine. Quentin Bruce. Old school. I guess with the exception of the arm elbow pad. That isn't necessarily old school, but no batting gloves for the pride of Grand Valley, Ontario. In his first year with the Hill United Chiefs after a couple of all-world performances with Bear Creek. Now he's one of the rivals and goes down swinging on this Pimental rise ball. There's Miker up to 6 strikeouts in the game as he retires the first two Chiefs he faces in the inning.
Nice drop ball there. Some scores from the ISC 2 program. The Tropics from Sydney, Australia are leading the Stuyvesant Canadians by a score of 8-0. Or sorry, that's the final. No, they're live. Ongoing action. Georgian Bay Giants are leading the Midland Explorers by a 4-2 score, and the Can West Thunder and the Walton Brewers are tied at zeros. Thank you, Blair Sedford.
He's been everywhere tonight.
That's a song, isn't it?
It'd be a line in a song if it's not the title. Maybe we'll ask Marvin.
Marvin the Music Man.
Chef by day, music man by night, and just a terrific human. Lots of them in this ballpark and in this event. No balls and a strike to Lenny Villavazo. As Pimental misses outside. Lenny's 26 years of age. And he has singled and walked in the game. So he's up to 2 for 4 in the tournament. He homered in their win over the Seattle Dirt Dogs. Every chance you get to mention the Seattle Dirt Dogs, you have to take it. One of the great names of the tournament.
And I like the fact that the dogs are spelled D-A-W-G-S.
Perfect. The Watered Down Hammer and the Seattle Dirt Dogs in the name competition. And Villavazo, not very often is he behind on a pitch, but was that time. His build is a showdown between two of the hardest throwers in the game. I didn't say the two best.
No.
Gets on this one. Lima on the run.
The first 1-2-3 inning for the J&B Bombers tonight.
Good play by Lima. Threw a strike across the diamond. Now they're looking for some offense. And against Marco Diaz, that's never an easy chore.
Do you need a reliable supply of products to run your business? Are you tired of having to deal with multiple suppliers to get everything you need? Absolute Business Supply is your dedicated, full-service business supply partner offering over 400,000 products and unmatched customer service. At ABS, we aren't just selling products. We offer a commitment to building meaningful relationships with our customers, getting to know your business goals so we can provide the best possible solutions for you.
Kyle Cowick had an opportunity to drive in a run or two his last time up, and he hit it hard at Shane Boland with runners at third and second and 2 out this time. The Vancouver product comes to bat, leading off, and had a nice cut on the Diaz pitch.
I think the boys on the left side of the infield for Hill still have to be sharp.
Kyle's 2 for 5 so far this week. Had a really good Canadians here with the Souk Loggers. Last late August into early September, he had 9 runs batted in for the Loggers in that event. And again, how exciting is it for these guys from BC to play this tournament in their own backyard.
They had never thought it was ever going to be possible.
No.
But by the good work of Craig Donaldson, thank God he's had that plan in his mind. He's left us now, and posthumously he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
You can bet he's looking down.
You bet. He's got the best seat in the house.
Well, Cowick goes down looking that time, and it's strikeout number 10 for Marco Diaz. And he has it going on. And you could see it in his first pitch and the first batter that he faced. The Chiefs were some charged up when the game started, as this is hit well, but foul down the line off the bat of the number 9 batter, and Iran Torres. He walked, facing Diaz his first time up in the second. He's 0 for 3 in the tournament, was 3 for 13 1 year ago in Denmark, Wisconsin. He homered twice, so he has some pop.
Just missed going down that line now. Tony Gonzalez playing fairly tight.
He's got the nice purple batting gloves going on. Not to be confused with David Galino's bright pink. The great shortstop with the Bear Creek Express. Boy, has he had a great start to this tournament.
He's had a great year.
Has he ever? He's from Venezuela. Torres from Mexico. Ball and 2 strikes to Iran Francisco Torres.
Nice pitch on that outside corner of the plate.
Yeah, that drop ball is too much. Too much indeed for the majority of the hitters. Four straight strikeouts now from Diaz, up to 11. Ty Sebastian of the Toronto Batmen had a 20 strikeout game earlier in the tournament. And in that game, he also went 3 for 3 and homered and drove in 3.
Yeah.
Outside, if he wasn't the player of the day on that day, call the FBI for an investigation. And I know he was. It would be hard to mess that one up. Yes. Yes. He and Ramon Godoy were named the players of the day on that day.
Real wide stance by Bishop at the plate.
This is Takui, not to be confused with
Tawera.
Ball and 2 strikes.
You could tell they're brothers, too.
Yes, you most certainly can. He's in the game for the injured Ismael Pena. And Marco Diaz right now as locked in as he's been all night long. 5 in a row of the strikeout variety. We'll head to the top of the 6th and a 2-0 Hill United Chiefs advantage.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game, every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports, focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product. Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Hard work, strength, and all-around commitment to getting
Tony Gonzalez in the leadoff spot in the 6th. He's a key reason why the Chiefs lead the game 2-0. He smashed an RBI double to the fence back in the 2nd inning. The other run was supplied the second batter of the game, Brad Ezekiel, hit an off-field homer to right to open the scoring. Chiefs out-hitting the JB Bombers 6-1.
JB had their quietest 1-2-3 inning back in the 5th. They're trying to silence this Hill United team, so they've got a crack still available with their bats.
And so far, Marco Diaz has out-dueled Miker Pimental. Pretty exciting for the sport in general when you think about arguably the two best pitchers in the world are 20 and 22, respectively, in Jack Besgrove of the Gremlins and Marco Diaz of Hill United. And there's lots of other great ones as well. And Pimental, when he's at his best, can compete with any.
Shows great fortune for us for the game of fastball going forward.
Not so much for some of the hitters. Well, Gonzalez thought that maybe he was on base with a walk.
Couldn't sell that to Ed Otterman, home plate umpire from Kitchener, Ontario.
Spent a lot of time in Kitchener, Ontario, Joe.
Me as well.
Especially this past hockey season. I was at the Memorial Auditorium a lot. Probably 12 or 13 times. And it's a great place. Always enjoy it, as Gonzalez does end up drawing the walk. I believe the third free pass given up by Miker. The 27-year-old. Pipolo Lopez just underneath it. And Cesar Rodriguez barely had to move, and he threw a rocket to second.
That was a clothesline. That ball did not move more than about 6 feet off the ground.
And he barely gave it much effort upon looking at the replay. You'd never know it by how quickly it got to the target. One away for Alan Pecker, who had a notion, did not pull the trigger. But the right arm of the home plate umpire goes up on the pitch from Miker Pimental. Has 6 strikeouts. Pales in comparison to the 17 that he put up against the Kegel Black Knights here 2 days ago. And still a very important game left before the evening is over. The 2-0 Northeast Drillers against the 2-0 Oma Tigre, looking to advance to the winner's bracket Final Four.
Good crowd here tonight.
And Pecker on a high rise couldn't catch up as he strikes out for the second time and is now 0 for 3 on the evening. Shane Boland has walked his last 2 times and flown out to start the game. On the ground, over the head, and that's an infield base hit for Boland, who continues to be very successful at home plate in this tournament. Shane now up to 5 hits.
Very productive in that leadoff spot for Hill.
1 for 2 tonight, 5 for 7. With 2 homers and 6 runs batted in their first 3 games of the tournament, and he's now been on base 3 times. So Shane has eclipsed his hit total from 1 year ago, the two-time All-World shortstop. And now Brad Ezekiel, who is homered. I don't think he's quite locked in yet the way he can be.
No, he's not totally, but he's getting there.
1 for 3 in the game, 2 for 9 in the tournament, but that one hit got the ball rolling. It was a solo homer in the top of the first. And now runners at first and second with 2 out for the 37-year-old from Harbor, Maine, Newfoundland. 7-time All-World player, long-time national team member of Canada, and I'm sure will be starting in center field in Prince Albert at next year's World Cup.
I think you can bet on that one.
Yeah, I think that one's fairly safe. Chopper. Flores was ready to fire a dart and still did anyway. He loves playing the game. Rafael Flores.
J&B Bombers trying to shut the door, trying to find that third out here. Top of the 6th inning. They got to keep this game close if they want a chance.
And Ezekiel battling, as you would expect. Always seems like he's a little hungrier with runners in scoring position. 6 for 18 in the tournament last year, with 2 homers and 5 runs batted in as his first homer and run batted in tonight. That is such a hard pitch to lay off.
Very teasing.
And he did.
Good eye at the plate.
Every time he comes to bat, you can tell they love this player. Listen to their dugout.
Yeah.
It's
one of the leaders on this team.
They love this guy, and why not? Off his fist, Cowick will just put the tag on Tony Gonzalez. So Pimental, outside of one pitch, has done a nice job against Bradley Ezekiel. The Bombers in search of offense. It's not been easy against Marco Diaz.
The annual Boys of Summer tournament is held every July at the Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time fast pitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill in the grounds can't be beat. Reduced-rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at deankane16@gmail.com. Thanks to Circle Tap for their support of the broadcast program.
Not a lot of change in the game, Joe.
No.
2-0 in the top of the second, and it remains that way as shortstop Jorge Lima set to bat in the bottom of the 6th. Marco Diaz has given up just 1 hit and struck out 12, and now he's given up a second. A hard hit liner off the bat of Jorge Lima gets things going in a positive way for the Bombers.
J&B done a good job in silencing the Hill United bats. Hill scored in the first and second inning. Been scoreless since then.
And at 2-0, with some very dangerous people in their lineup, like the next two guys coming up. This game could change quickly. And now does Diaz turn it up again? Not that he's really turned it down. That was another great 85-mile-an-hour drop. Flores behind on that swing. Rafael Flores does have the other JB base hit tonight. It came in the third. You don't want to make a mistake to this guy. And Marco Diaz didn't. Lucky number 13 for him in the strikeout department, and out number 1. And now, the always dangerous first baseman, Tawera Bishop. Wouldn't he love this at-bat to produce his first hit of the tournament?
Big swing.
Well, he never gets cheated.
No. Getting her in.
He's 0 for 1. He's walked in the game. 0 for 5 in the event. And did he break Matroni's glove?
I think so.
He broke his glove. You know you throw hard when. Bruno's got an extra, and now he's got to tighten it all up.
Ed Otterman asking him, does that glove work? I hope so.
Oh, it works. The other one needs some new lacing. The 0-1 on its way to Tawera Bishop. And he got a piece.
Got a piece of that one. Yep.
When the location is down and in on your hands,
makes it real tough.
So difficult. Can't imagine it being in a much more difficult spot. Did it hit the umpire again?
I think so.
That's the second time poor Ed Otterman has been hit by a foul ball. It's one of those nights I think you just go home, pull the covers over your head and go, am I okay? And if the answer is yes, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
No balls and 2 strikes to Tawera Bishop. And that one got away a little bit, but a good spoiler pitch, if you will, at 0-2. Most people who have ever coached the game at any level aren't fans of 0-2 base hits.
No, you should not be going down the middle of the pipe.
Yeah, unhittable. It's the only description I have. So strikes out Flores, strikes out Bishop. Well, he has more than lived up to his end of the bargain tonight, 22-year-old Marco Diaz.
Yes, pitched extremely well. Just giving up the 1 hit, 14 strikeouts.
He has been exceptional.
92 pitches so far in the game.
And we're going to see a lot more of them before the end of the week.
Yes.
The winner's bracket semifinals on deck tomorrow at 6 and 8.
Yes, it is.
We'll check in on those matchups before the end of the evening as Blair and Joe, I believe, will bring you the final game tonight between the Northeast Drillers and the Oma Tigre. I'm excited actually after 3 in a row to just sit back and take it in.
You've earned it.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm going to enjoy it. I know that. Juan Villavazo, he's upset. Looked like at the umpire. 13, 14, and 15 in the strikeout column for Marco Diaz. We're headed to the 7th. It remains 2-0 Hill United.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web.
Nick Shales facing Miker Pimental to begin the 7th. Hill United scored in the 1st and the 2nd, and it remains the same way. They've out-hit the JB Bombers 7-2. Marco Diaz has been the star of the show, yielding 2 hits and striking out 15 JB batters. Cowick bounded by him, and a barehanded try by Lima. And will be interesting. I think this should be Nick Shales' first hit of the event. A tricky hop for Kyle Cowick over at third. He looked like, Joe, he was in position. He stayed down. The ball came up. And he's going to be charged with an error.
I personally think that's the correct call.
Upon second glance, it won't make Nick very happy. Still looking for his first hit, but yes, Kyle Cowick charged with an error.
Nick White now running at first base for Nick Shales. Exchange of the Knicks.
Don't be surprised if this guy isn't on the move. Looked like it hit.
Yes, it did.
Matroni in the elbow. Off his right elbow. And we'll show it to you again. Just got a piece of the elbow. And Hill United looking for a little more insurance now all of a sudden with runners at first and second after the error and the hit by pitch. And a pinch runner.
I think that's Luci Bondi.
That is Luciano Biondi, who's taller than Tyler Brancho. They both have 4 on their jerseys. 1-4 and 3-4. You can't have much more speed on the base pass than what Hill United has right now in White and Biondi. They're not ready to take on Andre DeGrasse of the Canadian 4x100 gold medal winning group.
Oh, that was close.
Well, Flores thought he had him, and a lot of people in the ballpark did too.
There was a lot of umpires here.
White was almost halfway to third. It was close. Real close.
Good arm there by Flores.
Quentin Bruce, the batter. He has doubled. Tried to lay down a sacrifice bunt. It went right off, and I mean right off the end of the bat. Ball and 2 strikes. Or is it 1-2 now? It's 1-2 now.
Raphael got the foul tip that time.
Yeah, it's not been the world's greatest night in that respect. And again, we have to mention our thoughts with the injured Ismael Pena, the shortstop who was injured early in the game in a collision with center fielder Cesar Rodriguez that sent him to a nearby Surrey hospital. High pop-up. Torres got a late start, but does come on to make the play.
Just at that kind of twilight time of the night, where the lights really don't take too much of an effect. He didn't read it well off the bat, but had trouble finding it.
Yeah, a late beginning, but did locate it and makes the catch. And now a mound visit. JB, well understanding that scoring even 1 tonight might be difficult enough, let alone 2 or more than that. A third one most certainly, Joe, puts this away.
Yes.
Even though it's the way the game's gone and the way Diaz is thrown, would be difficult to imagine the Bombers scoring even 1, as dominant as he's been, but you never know. So the pop-up to left field for the first out, and now Villavazzo, who's 1 for 2 in the game, singled, walked, and ground out to short. His brother is at second base. 1. And it's hit right towards his brother, so they've both done it. Juan made an out to Lenny, and now Lenny makes an out to Juan.
It's only fair.
It is only fair.
Still want to be friends under the Christmas tree.
I'm guessing that's not an issue. Well, you certainly hope not. Shouldn't always assume, though. They're not playing on the same team.
Yeah.
Tony Gonzalez delivered a huge RBI double all the way back in the second. It's the last time a run has crossed the plate.
Good quick swing there by Gonzalez.
He walked his last time, struck out against Pimentel in the third. But even in that at-bat, he had nothing but quality cuts. He looks very comfortable at the plate.
He loves it down that number 7 spot. Not too often he gets moved.
Pimentel just missed that time. 1-1 to Tony Gonzalez. Can he add a little more insurance? Gets away from Flores on the high pitch from Miker Pimentel. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position for Gonzalez. And now with the base open, I'm more careful.
Extremely careful.
With the way he's been swinging it tonight. But he pours in a strike. Looks like he's been consistently around the 80 or 81 mark. Well, Diaz has been up to 86. Hit it a mile. Gone. He's had great swings all night and just had another that is going to almost certainly send Hill United into the Final Four of the winners bracket. Tony Gonzalez. A 3-run homer to go along with his RBI double. He's cashed in 4 of the 5.
Good power hit by Gonzalez there, driving that ball out of the park, capping a big night here at the plate. Hill United Chiefs now up by 5.
3-run home run for Tony Gonzalez. That will most certainly vault them deeper into the winners bracket. Tony's first home run of the event.
But that got out of here real quick, too.
Yeah, it was on a line.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just had great swings all night long. It was a rope of a double that he cashed in the second run, and that one, you knew it when it left.
Not bad when you have 4 RBIs out of the 5 runs.
It's not a bad night at the office.
Yeah.
And Lopez is trying to send it to the trees himself with that swing. Pipolo has one of the 8 Hill United Chiefs hits. So in the matchup that was billed as Diaz and Pimentel, Marco has been the man in this game.
Been the better pitcher tonight.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Still the bottom of the 7th to come. And one more game on the slate. Ouch. As it hits Pipolo Lopez, and maybe a little frustration starting to show for Miker Pimentel. There is activity now, and there hasn't been much, if any, down either side in the bullpen, but there is for JB, and I bet they make a change here.
Yes.
Luis Colombo warming, and he might come in, and that's exactly what's going to occur. Some handshakes for the 27-year-old Venezuelan. Tips his cap, and a point to Colombo. We'll take a quick break. Tony Gonzalez has gone deep to give the Chiefs a 5-0 advantage.
Sometimes people worry about asking for help because there can be a stigma around mental health problems.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
They might believe that asking for help means admitting that something's wrong.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Some people worry about how others might see them.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Asking for help means that you want to make changes and take the first steps towards better mental health.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
We should celebrate the courage it takes to speak up and make changes.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Getting help is part of recovery.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Mental health isn't something you need to keep to yourself. Talk to a friend. Trust your teammates. You're not alone.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
The first steps may be the toughest, but knowing where to look for help is a good start. Community mental health organizations like the Canadian Mental Health Association or Mental Health America offer resources and programs that can help you. Visit cmha.ca or mentalhealthamerica.net
to find a branch in your community.
And remember,
trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
The new pitcher is Luis Colombo. He's from Valencia, Venezuela. Thrown 1 2/3 innings here, given up no runs, 3 hits, struck out 4, walked 2. Those inning and 2/3 of action came against the Emery Electric Chargers from Victoria in the opening game win for the JB Bombers. They trail this one 5-0, and Joe, as they'll move into the, if you will, losers bracket, repechage round. Blair had a great term earlier. I actually want to adopt it, because I don't know, it struck me funny about the losers bracket this week, even though it's been that way forever. They won't be easy to deal with.
No, it'll be a big struggle.
Alan Pecker. Hoping for his first hit of the evening. He's 0 for 3. He struck out a couple of times against Miker Pimentel. So you're getting a look at the number 1 and number 2 guys from Venezuela on this team. There's a nice change.
It's a nice pitch.
Three balls and a strike. 2 down, and Tony Gonzalez has hit a 3-run homer in this 7th inning. And this is hit pretty well too, but it's going to curve foul. Head the length, not quite the direction.
Important for Colombo to get some work, too. There's going to be a long road back now. They're going to need both pitchers.
Stays with it, kept his hands back and fouls it down the line. Three balls and 2 strikes. And the quality at bat for the Argentine national team member, who is not healthy enough, Joe, to play in the WBSC group stage event in Prince Albert that was won by Argentina. They finished first in that 6-team competition. And we're going to focus a little bit on another upcoming one. The one in Oklahoma City. And have a little clarification coming up about the pitcher.
Oh, okay. Tell me more. Tell me more.
I will. Shortly. A strikeout for Colombo. The damage was done earlier. 3-run Tony Gonzalez blast into the left field bleachers has given Hill United a 5-0 lead. So Marco Diaz, I'm always happy to pass along information that I haven't necessarily seen, received, or been able to research. So apparently Marco Diaz, who has opted to play now for the United States moving forward, as Nicholas Carril sends it down the line, and it's hauled in on a lovely play in right field for out number 1. Great work to go over and get it.
Great range.
That's a whale of a play out there in right. Now, getting back to Diaz's story, talked about him, Joe, making a choice. And here's the reference as to why, as this is hit off Diaz in this 5-0 game. Because if you go back internationally to the 2020 U18 World Cup, who did he play for then? He played for Mexico. I am looking at it right in front of me.
Yeah, he played for Mexico.
So, obviously, there was a choice to be made. I am not going to contest for a second that he was born in the United States, which would make citizenship easier, and you do have the choice. But he has played internationally with another country prior to now.
Yes, he has.
Just wanted to make that crystal clear. And here's Kyle Cowick. Is the pitch delivered just outside the zone, and all I'll say is the United States is lucky to have him. And I've mentioned that several times tonight as well. Changes the face of their program.
A lot deeper now, and it will be for quite a few years.
Oh, they are an absolute gold medal threat next year in Prince Albert. And this guy's a big reason why. Big swing by Kyle Cowick.
High drop there.
Well, his drop has been sensational. Velocity as high as he can throw it. He's been around 86, 85, 84 all night, and even Kyle Cowick, you can see his expression is, you got me. Not a lot I can do, and that is strikeout number 16 of the game. So Iran Torres looks to keep it alive. And Diaz pours in another strike. So Hill United 1 out away from joining the New York Gremlins and the Bear Creek Express in the Final Four of the winner's bracket. One more great game to come. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. I'm very excited about doing just that. The Northeast Drillers facing the Oma Tigre, who finished second at the USA Nationals. And their lineup is much different than the one that was in Denmark, Wisconsin, talking about the Tigre. The Drillers, well, the name is different. Where they reside is different, but made up a lot of players who played for the Niagara Stompers last year.
Yeah, the names haven't been changed in this one. Sweater colors. Sponsor.
A lot of the same people.
A lot of the same people.
And a lot of good players.
Great ball players.
A team that in their first 2 games has a batting average of .551.
They love putting the ball in play. They love to swing the bat.
They love to hit it out of play, too, as in out of here. Down to their last strike of the Bombers, who will fall back into the repechage round. Redemption round. There it is. I like that one.
Redemption round.
The redemption round. Blair, we're going to make a thing of that. No, I like the redemption round. Repechage is still too much rowing.
Yeah.
Can't hear that word without thinking about rowing.
You're attempting to redeem yourself.
Yes, after falling in your first game.
Mm-hmm.
Or not your first, but suffering your first
loss.
setback. Torres. Ezekiel. A incredibly impressive all-round performance by the Hill United Chiefs, who have made a statement that we plan to be around when the title is truly contested, as they're 3-0. Joe, a lot of billing in the pitching matchup, and tonight Marco Diaz was too much.
Yeah, Marco Diaz was as sharp as I've ever seen him. Miker Pimento was a little bit off, had a rough start too, and got behind the hole and just could not catch up. The J&B bats were very silent based on the great pitching of Diaz.
5-0. Tony Gonzalez. Offensively, 4 runs batted in, including a game put away 3-run homer in the 7th. For Joe Todd, Luciano Lafrano, Blair Setford, Carl Dureste, and without her work, we wouldn't be here. She is awesome. So long for now, and in about 25 minutes, it is going to be a matchup between the Drillers and the Tigre.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on soft. Well hit, deep right field, it's curving. This one, well hit to deep right field this time, and that one is gone. Trying to put it away is Jack Besgrove. The New York Gremlins are world champions.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Start spreading the news, Joe Todd. It's New York, New York.